You're listening to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast, where we explore the connection between a fit body and positive mental health. And our big mission? It's to help 10,000 runners to develop fitter minds in the next 2 years. I'm your host, Michelle Frost. Let's get moving. Welcome to this episode of the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast, where we talk with Kylie Butler. I think we can all learn a lot from Kylie, especially her ability to just switch off when she's out for a run. Enjoy. Today on Fit Mind, Fit Body, I have the wonderful Kylie Butler. Welcome, Kylie.
Thanks, Michelle.
Kylie's actually sitting in my office, like a few people have who've come to the podcast, but she is the first person who has ridden to come and have
your great big hill.
Yes, she's ridden up the hill. It's actually challenging to run, but riding is actually that extra step, isn't it?
Yes, it did. I didn't arrive as fresh as I thought I would have.
Well, you look all right, and you're all your endorphins and things will be going off now because you've been physically active before you got here. It means you'll be full of lots of positive things zinging around in your head, I think.
Look, that's happening. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. All right, Kylie, tell me, where did you grow up? What's your backstory?
I grew up in Tassie. I'm a Tassie girl. Grew up in Riverside, so I've always been in the tamer.
Oh, wow.
Grew up with two siblings, brother and a sister, so I'm the baby.
Yeah.
And since then, I've got two girls myself now.
Yeah.
And still live in the tamer.
You still live in the tamer?
Still live in the tamer.
Wow. So where did you go to school? Did you go to Riverside?
Yeah, went to Riverside Primary and High.
Yeah.
And LC, and then working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at school, what did you think of sport then? What kind of sport did you do then?
I was always did sport, always loved sport, netball, softball, didn't love running. Cross country, no thank you. But no, always an active kid.
Yeah.
I was always a big kid.
Yeah.
For a little shorty, but always active and fit kid. But no, not running.
Not into running at all.
No.
Can you remember why you liked the things that you did like sport-wise? What was it? It was
probably the team.
Okay.
Yeah, which is funny now because I run mostly alone.
Yeah.
Like every now and then, like small groups, ones or twos, I'll do. But I prefer. Yeah, I do a lot of running alone, mainly because it's just easy. You don't have to organise anyone else. But but back then it probably would have been team sports.
So what about your siblings and your parents? Were they very into sport also? So was it a family kind of thing?
Dad was always into bushwalking, so that's where I get the outdoorsy from, I reckon. Brother and sister, they did little bits, but not overly sporty.
All right. Did your dad take you bushwalking?
Yes. Yeah, he did. And Mum was very glad because she always had a phobia of snakes. So as soon as I showed any interest, I was in and she was out. So so I did a lot of bushwalking, probably in early to late teens.
Oh wow. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What was it about it that you enjoyed, do you think, that being outdoors and I guess walking?
Yeah, it was time with Dad. That was always good. Not that he was much of a talker, but we'd just kind of just mosey along and just half the time I didn't really know where we were and I'd just follow him and we'd just walk all day and take some nice photos and have lunch and wander back. Yeah.
So you didn't camp? You didn't do like walking and camping with your dad?
We did. I only probably did a couple of overnight ones. Mostly it was day hikes. So we'd still travel far. We'd get up at stupid o'clock in the morning and drive and then just make a big day of it. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And we live in a beautiful place to be able to do that.
We do. We're very lucky.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What did you do when you left school?
When I left school, I pretty much started working straight away. So I was in a bank for 10 years.
Fun.
No. No, it was soul destroying. But I was did that. That served its purpose. We, bought a house, did all that kind of thing. And then I finished up there when I was pregnant with Caitlin. So that kind of worked out well. and then a podiatry clinic for on and off for about 15 years, and now Find Your Feet with the getting back to the outdoors
so
stuff.
you went from basically like an office job to like a podiatry, kind of thinking more about the physical side of people, into Find Your Feet. For those of you who don't know, because there's people, international people even listen to this podcast, it's crazy, is a shop for, I guess, outdoors.
Trail running, outdoors.
You sort of slowly move down to this, to where you want to be, not down. Maybe if it's say up, actually. Think of it as going up a mountain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's more in tune with what I enjoy, and
So when you were at the bank, what did you do to stay fit then? Did you do anything?
I did a lot of walking, just like, well, we'll go out with Dad and things like that, and every morning just get out and go for my morning walk. But nothing structured. So that was about it, really.
So what made you, and when did you start running as an adult? Because you wanted to, you know, because nobody made you go and run the cross country or whatever.
Well, when I was I just probably had Caitlin, and I was doing an exercise classes at the local country hall, and someone said, hey, why don't you do the Lonnie 10? And I'm like, why?
How old were you then?
I would have been probably about 30, I reckon. And then as soon as I said that, I must have been the night after, it's like, why did I say, why would you do that? I better do it now. So I joined the Lonnie 10, and I did that, and I thought, that's not too bad. So
did you train? How did you, like, you rocked up to the start line? You must have done something.
Well, because I was doing the classes with a few friends. They were doing running afterwards. I didn't actually join them, but I just started doing little runs around the roads and whatnot. And I think I probably got up to about 5Ks before I did the 10K. And and I did that, and I thought that was okay. So I thought, oh, well, I've done 10K. I'll do a half marathon. So I did that at Cadbury. And and then you do that. Of course, you got to do a marathon. So,
no, you don't have to, just so that you don't actually.
So I didn't have to do that.
There's no contract that says.
Oh, well, that changes things.
Too late now, though. So then you went off and did a half, and you did a marathon. And how many do you think of these crazy things have you clocked up now in? I would say, how many years?
So 2014 was the start of it. So I've probably done, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 marathons and a couple of 50Ks, and Bruni. So Bruni's the longest one I've done.
Wow. So you did the entire Bruni, which again, for those of you who don't know, is 64 kilometres. So that's awesome. I happen to know you've also done the 50K, I think, down at what used to be called Convicts and Wenches.
Yes,
3 Beaches and Narrawontapu and lots of other names for it.
It's a lovely run.
So what do you think's kept you running? So from doing the 10 initially, what's kept you running?
It's just good to stay a certain level of fitness. So if someone says, hey, let's go out and do something, you can just go and do it. You're kind of fit for life. And it's good just to clear your head. It's nice quiet time. I'm not overly extroverted, and I need my time by myself, especially when I was probably working at the other jobs. I needed that time, I think, just to reset.
What's your favorite places to run? Like, are you a road runner or a bush runner
I prefer bush running. So when you said Convicts and Wenches, the coastal running is probably my favorite. However, it does tend to be the favorite for snakes as well lately. So
they do like it.
They do love it down there. So I have to try and avoid those a little bit. I'm getting a bit nervy these days.
So you do get a bit nervous about snakes?
I think they just come out when I'm around. There just seems to be you can just guarantee every time I go down to Greens Beach, I'll see at least one.
I think when we were living there for a year at Greens Beach, I had one run where I came across something like 5
Yeah.
One of them was dead on the side of the road, but the rest were very much alive.
Yeah. It certainly keeps you in the moment, doesn't it?
It does. It really makes you be mindful of everything around you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe go a different direction next time, or cut the run short, or just do something.
I tend to start walking if I see if I see one, I just get on alert. If I see two, it's like, no, I'll just finish walking now.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So what kind of things are you thinking about when you're running? You said something about resetting earlier.
Yeah, it's just that quiet time. So if I've got anything I need to think about, then my brain automatically just clicks into that, and but there could be some runs when I get back and I'm pretty sure I haven't had a thought at all.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is nice when you can just go out for a run and just not think. It's great, but it's it's good to have that time in case you do have a few things you want to think about.
I did a podcast maybe last week with one of my coaches, and our conversation was really kind of about that, about how especially mums don't spend enough time just their, what do they call it, me time, or just their own time in where they're not necessarily trying to solve problems or do the shopping list or whatever. They're actually just being in the moment, because they're so busy doing things for everyone else, or they're working, or they're whatever, and that running can actually give you some of that space. It sounds like you've tapped into that pretty well.
And you know when you need to go out. And your family probably know when you need to go out as well. I have heard that. Yeah.
So have you had any injuries?
Touch wood, not really. I've had little niggles, and it tends to be more now I'm getting older, but no actual, I haven't had to stop for any particular reason.
Okay. So in saying that, can you imagine what your mind will do if and when you can't run for a small period? Say you get some kind of injury where you have to have 6 weeks off. How do you think you'll cope with that?
I think I'd be all right. I think as long as I can get outside, regardless of in what way, I think it'd be right. I think the secret is actually just getting outside. Yeah.
When do you think you called yourself a runner?
Probably when I started entering races. I think that kind of
Yeah.
And
you're like, I know a runner because
I
I'm
run.
Validated because I entered a race.
That's right. It's official. I've entered a race.
No run. So do your kids come along and do some of the running with you sometimes?
Jess was with LRC, the Launceston Running Club, for a while. However, now she doesn't really do much. She loves her netball and other things. Whereas Caitlin, who never wanted to run, is now running every now and then. She drags me out for runs. So they're kind of tag teamed with that.
It's a bit of a family thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now back to your love of running outside, obviously outside, but in nature. And what is it do you think about when you're on the trails and you're in those places, those wild places, that gives you so much when you're, running through those environments rather than, running down the road or like a suburban sort of run? What do you think is going on there?
I think I'm just looking at what's around, enjoying, like you say, just enjoying nature. I'm never serious enough that I don't stop and take photos. So I take photos all the time and just enjoy seeing what I see. Even if it's a snake, I do still find them fascinating. And I've seen so many cool things when I've been running. I've stopped off at a lookout and seen seals just fishing, just so close, and wedge-tailed eagles, and
I love eagles.
You just never know what you're going to see when you go out, and even if you run the same track every time, it's always different.
Especially in the wild, isn't it? As opposed to running down the local street. Often things don't change that much.
No, that's right. And even like with the weather, like it's so nice when the weather is wild down the beach. It's just changes it.
Okay, beautiful. So on those days when the weather is a little crazy outside and maybe you're tired, how do you get out? Like, what's some of your secrets for getting out even when you know that you need to go for a run? For some reason, how do you get out if the weather's shitty and you're feeling crappy?
If I'm going somewhere like down to the beach, it's easy. It doesn't worry me with the weather. probably makes it easier because I know I'll have the track to myself.
Yeah.
The snakes won't be there. It'll be it'll be nice. But if I'm running around the block in winter, you know, and have to get out of bed early to do that, sometimes I've got to make sure I've got my clothes ready to go. And as soon as the alarm goes off, I've got to get up and out, or else it's
that's it.
I'm sucked back into bed
because it's really easy to get back into bed sometimes.
And I've been running with Darren lately on Thursday mornings. So it's good to know, you know, you've got someone to be accountable for. And before that I was running with Vicky, so it's good to have friends that are, you know, especially for the morning runs when you're not as sharp, to have someone relying on you to actually get out of bed.
Do you prefer running in the morning than you do in the evening? Yeah. And if you're running by yourself so much, do you often listen to things, or are you running without, you know?
I tend not to listen to things. I like, especially in the morning, if you're running into the dawn, if that makes sense, like listening to the birds waking up and things like that. I like to chill out and just listen to that.
That's so cool. I love that. How long do you think you'll run for in your life?
I think I'll be doing something for forever until the nursing home calls, and even then probably be doing wheelchair races up and down the halls.
In the garden? Get outside.
Exactly. No, I think there's, you know, you don't have to always run at the same speed or distance. You can just still get out and do things.
And just keep moving.
What's one of the best positive benefits that you've found from running, do you think?
I think it's just to keep yourself fit, healthy and happy. So I think it's mind, body, soul, that covers everything, just getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So without that in your life, do you think you'd be missing those things, or would you find
I think
some
I'll
other
be
way?
pretty crabby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think your family be going, what can we do?
Yeah.
Just to make you feel a bit better.
Yes, I think things will be very different.
That's funny. So can you tell me, can you think back and think of your most favourite run? Doesn't have to be a race or anything. Could just be a training run. Just think back to a run that you've had where just everything seemed to be amazing. I mean, the weather could have been awful, but you know, just everything seemed to fall in place and you just felt great, and everywhere you looked there was eye candy and ear candy and great things, you know, just felt great.
Happy place.
Yeah. Can you think of a run like that? You could describe it to us.
I friend Vicky was training for a marathon, or I don't know what, she was something big, and she said, hey, let's do this training run. And so we started it in the dark, because I think it could have been one of those super moons or something. So we started at some stupid time and to see this big moon, so we're running into the dawn, and I think we ended up running for about a marathon. So we ran into town, and we just talked the whole way, which is not unusual for us. That's quite easy for us to do, but it was just, it just seemed easy until the sun came up and we were nearly finished. And I'm not very good in the heat, and it was one of those really hot Tassie days. And I cooked. I said, you just keep going. And then she got her husband to come and pick me up. Even though I said I'll be right, but no, he came with ice packs and water and rescued me. But it was just a really, until then,
that moment,
but even that, it's like, oh no, look, I'm cooked, done. But it was just nice. Which probably doesn't sound it with that ending, but it was actually, it was fine.
But it was just a lovely,
I could still have walked home quite easily.
So in the shop where you work, you would get lots of people who are runners, and especially trail runners and the like. What do you think most of them, why do they run? Do you think, is it similar to you, like in the trails? Do you think, like, because they would tell you stories and stuff, so there's quite a bit of things you pick up from them?
I think a lot of people come from road running and they have a go at trail and just find it just so different and calm and relaxing, and a great community as well. And it's just a nice change from road running. It mixes it up. But it's, you know, some people take it a lot more seriously than others, and that's a good bunch of people.
What about running would you say to people who haven't run before as an adult, because most of us had to run when we were at school
Yeah.
somewhere, what would you say to them to encourage them if they didn't know if it was running they wanted to get started with, but they knew they wanted to get fitter and they wanted to start moving?
Yeah.
How would you encourage them to run? What kind of things would you say to them that running was a good thing to take up?
Start slowly. Use the term running loosely. It doesn't mean you actually have to run all the time. You can just have a bit of a wander and then just increase the amount you run in between your walk. And just enjoy it. Go somewhere you'd like to explore and just see if you can find a friend who does it, and just go and just get into it.
Okay, that would be good. So especially if they came in and said, I think I might start bike riding, and you say no, go do trail running instead.
No, well, I've actually just got myself a new bike, so I was like, where are we going?
That's right. No, that's not right. So of all this running that you've done, because I know you've done quite a bit, and I know you've volunteered in different runs as well, to do things like sweeping, which is not easy. What are you most proud of? Whether it doesn't have to be a race, but is there something in your running career that you're most proud of, an event or just the way you've trained? I don't know.
It's funny because when you say most proud, like I think, have I done anything spectacular? And I think, and it's funny because I did actually win a race. But that does not rate.
Why?
I don't know. I maybe because I know that I'm middle of the pack, just a happy runner, not striving for it. I just happened to win at the time, and but that's
tell us about that.
Well, that was in the can't even think where it was, the Nerang State Forest. It was a 50k. And I just happened to be the first girl that finished it on that day.
That's amazing.
And because I know like my time was not a fantastic time, and I don't know whether it's because I know runners who are fast, and it's like it's not. It was a funny good experience, but I'm probably more proud of just getting out and running regardless, like
being
just
consistent,
just still doing it, still chipping away, and still enjoying it.
And planning to keep enjoying it for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Is there actually I had that experience as well, being the first elderly woman across the line in the triple top a couple of years ago. I think it was 50 and above, and I went, what? That's ridiculous. Anyway, that was kind of funny. Not most proud moment, except that I did it. I love that.
It just happened to be a moment.
That's right. Like, so I can relate to that. Anyway, is there something that do you think that we haven't touched on that's important about running and why people should run and all of that?
I don't think so. I think it's just getting out and enjoying being outside. If you can find friends that you want to run with, that's great. If not, just get out and enjoy your time by yourself.
That time by yourself is so important, especially now we have so much things are taking our attention.
And probably unplug for that time you're away. Every now and then it's good to listen to podcasts, of course, but
like
this one, of course, but sometimes it's just nice to listen to the birds and be in the space.
Just be in that moment.
I
think there's been some studies done which talk about how we're disconnected from our bodies now because we spend so much time being plugged in, whether we're listening to things while we're running all the time, or we're on social media, or we're binge watching the next latest episode, or we're at work, or we're just always busy. And we're not just busy doing, we're also busy in our head, and we're not unplugged. And so those moments that you talk about in running are perfect opportunities to be unplugged regularly.
And you should be able to unplug for at least an hour or something. Like, it's not, life's going to be there when you finish. You're not going to miss anything.
I do keep saying to the kids, we didn't even have mobile phones
back in the day.
It's like my parents.
Yeah, but it's funny. I can't leave home without the mobile phone. But yeah,
it's like, what?
Yeah.
I actually don't have my mobile phone next to my bed anymore. I haven't done all year. It stays in here in the office.
Yeah.
And my kids keep saying, but what if there's an emergency in the middle of the night and we have to get on of you? I don't know.
Call someone else.
Yeah, it's not in here.
000, you'll be right.
I don't know. Simon has his on the other side, so I guess.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, it's on silent. So who knows? Yeah, don't have an emergency in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
that's the moral of the story.
Plan your emergency.
So going back to the attention thing, just briefly, to me, it's that fact that we're not in touch with our bodies, even like. We go running and we, in many ways, like my mum would often say to me, are you really in touch with what's going on? Like it's an interesting sort of question, but what she was talking about is, am I, do I know what's going on? Even though I'm fit, is my body, can I say, yes, my knee is sore because, I maybe had my legs crossed earlier in the day and then I went for a run and so it was a bit sore and then it got better. So it's understanding, I guess, the difference between what's an injury, what's just your body having niggles. I guess really understanding your body, and that's that attention we were talking about before.
Yeah.
And I find that if I'm not unplugged for some of my runs, then I get a bit disconnected, even though I'm, reasonably fit and healthy. Yeah. There's that disconnect. I know. Yeah. Like I'm rambling, but yeah, I think it's an important thing that people miss out on, but you seem to be doing that very well, being connected and to yourself, not the rest of the world.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right, Kylie, is there I want a tip from you or a couple of tips for beginner runners?
Yeah, well, I think we said earlier, just start slow. Don't be afraid to not run. You can walk and run. Just try and increase the amount that you run, but not too quickly. Just take it slow. So that consistency is a pretty important consistency, but just try and enjoy it. So don't go out to win marathon straight up. Just enjoy the process and take it slow.
What do you think is the thing that stops new runners to keep going? What stops them?
Probably going too hard, too fast, because it can be hard. It's, and they might go out for a couple of times and think it's not very nice. It might be too hard, but, it might be, once again, because they're trying to actually run like they did when I was a kid. You just go and off you go, quick as trying to chase something. Whereas, you just need to just go slow. Just breathe. Might be my age, but just go slow. Just go slow.
Well, I think when I first started running as an adult, I was like 24 or 5 or something. I used to run from here, which is at the top of the hill, which you all heard earlier, and I would run down to my grandmother's on Roseviews Drive, and then she would drive me back up again.
That's a good deal.
So that was good. But it was pretty, because of the gravity, sort of took me down. But I was in motion. Yeah. But I would do that every day. I'm not suggesting anyone does that every day, but it was that consistency, and that's what sort of got me doing something easy, but every day consistently. Yeah. And if you make it part of your routine, then you're more likely to keep it going as well. That's true. Yeah. Make it part of your lifestyle and who you are. Yeah. And maybe start calling yourself a runner. Yeah. Yeah, even before you enter the 10K. Exactly. So cool. All right. Thank you so much. Now the dogs just started barking. It's about time. Perfect timing. Thanks, Kylie, for being on Fit Mind, Fit Body. I really appreciate the time. Not to mention the effort, because you rode up the hill to get here. No worries. I've just got to ride home now. No, it's kind of downhill, but you do have a big hill at the other end. Yeah. Not as bad as this one, though, I don't think. No, I'll let you know. See how I go. Thank you. No, thanks, Michelle. Thank you for listening to the Fit Mind, Fit Body podcast. I'd love to talk to you about your running journey. So send me a message on Facebook or on the website and let's do it. For a bunch of resources on mindful running that will help you get and stay mentally and physically fit, head over to the website fitmindfitbody.co and I'll see you there.
Plus, I'll be back here in your podcast player a few times a week. Hit subscribe now so that you don't miss an episode. And before you go, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a review. It'll help more people to find the podcast and get inspired to start running. I'll see you soon. Bye.